Good day, fellas. I hope you are ready for your daily dose of skill, and we have a big banger one today. 1.19 patches coming. Skill, we are getting patches each 2 months. Oh yeah, we do, fellas, we do. But this one is a different one. This one is having, well, quite some quirks and features, to say that the least. Okay, first things first. The most important thing of all of this, we are getting experimental equipment, right? This is the most important thing. What we need to know. Experimental equipment are 2 equipment pieces bonded together. Pretty much this is how it is looking like. And now you might think, but it doesn't sound that bad. Well, wait, it is only the start. What Wargaming is saying, it cannot be purchased. Well, probably it cannot be purchased on its own, but probably there is going to be a different ways how you are going to get it. Now, how Wargaming is planning to distribute all of this? Wargaming is planning to distribute this into the well-deserved rewards, right? Pretty much in the end of the 11th month, November, we are getting well-deserved rewards for how long we have been tanker in the World of Tanks. Super Hellcat, Vakavida, Derbgan, T52 and Premium Days and whatnot. This is actually a nice addition to the game, and this is good, right? Now, they are also become part of the holiday ops. Read between the lines, fellas. Become part of the holiday ops. It's not like it might happen. We are thinking about putting this in. We are asking for your opinions about this. No, it is happening. Okay, the train already left the station, and you know what? We cannot change absolutely anything about this. It's coming. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but speaking about the holiday ops, there is 2 ways how you are obtaining the rewards in the holiday ops. First thing is whenever you are building your garage atmosphere, right? You are getting whatever, snow maidens, crew members, or whatnot, right? And what is the other one? Tell me, fellas, what is the loot boxes? Yeah, so there is a humongous chance, and I can't see how it could go otherwise, but I think Wargaming is going to sell the new equipment in the loot boxes, which is kind of behind the RNG wall. You know, you are going to get it or you are not going to get it. So yeah, you cannot buy it directly, but you can gamble for it. And also Battle Pass. How the things are looking like in the Battle Pass, right? Speaking about the Battle Pass, there's 2 options of the Battle Pass. The standard Battle Pass, whenever you are not paying a single penny, but you are playing the game and you are getting weaker rewards. And there is other way whenever you are paying money and you are getting more rewards, right? So I think pretty much this equipment is going to be distributed equally towards the free-to-play pass and pay-to-play pass. This is what I think. So pretty much people who are willing to pay, they are going to get more more pieces of the new equipment from the battle pass, right? So what Wargaming is saying right there is, the new equipment cannot be purchased. Yeah, right. And my name is Brittany, and please, you know, do me dirty, please. So let's get real. This is not the case, and this is just absolutely bullcrap, and this is bullshit what they are saying. This is the first thing what I want to say. Obviously, there is going to be also probably some events like ranked battles and whatnot, where you can get this equipment as well. I believe Wargaming will try to make people to play more of their game modes, which is fair, and I believe this is understandable. Now, one more thing which I really want to say, this equipment can be upgraded via the level. So there is level 1, there is level 2, and there is level 3. Level 1 is describing the standard equipment, level 2 bounty equipment, and level 3 bond equipment. We are going to talk about this very, very soon. What we need to keep this in mind, you are going to use the shards which you are getting for dismantling this equipment. One equipment dismantle is 100 shards, and pretty much if you want to jump to the level 3, what you need to do, you need to dismantle 24 equipment pieces to get one equipment up to the maximum level. And after that, if you want to remove it from the tank and put into the other tank, you need to dismantle pretty much another piece of equipment. It will cost 100 shards. This is very, very important information to say. I will show absolutely everything in the game. Let's go. Now, when we are back in the garage, let's talk how those equipment pieces are looking like and how many of the new equipment pieces we are looking at. Right? Currently, Wargaming is presenting us with the 3 equipment pieces, which are pretty much improved hardening combined with modified configuration, turbo combined with rotation mechanism, and stabilizer combined with improved gun link drive. Those are the things which Wargaming is currently presenting and Wargaming is offering for us. I will show you how this is going to change the game or make people who do not have equipment pieces way less competitive in a way, and it is not going to be great. Anyways, imagine that you are getting, let's say, 10 pieces each, and you want to make one piece better, right? So pretty much what you need to do, you need to click here and you need to get components, right? So what you are doing, you are pretty much selecting how many of equipment pieces you want to destroy in order to get those shards which I was speaking about in the start of the video, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Dismantling system is looking relatively simple, and it is quite easy to deal with this, right? So here you go, you are dismantling equipment which you are getting, and you can use parts of the old equipment to make it better. So how you are making the equipment better? All you are doing, you are clicking upgrade, right? It will cost 400 pieces, or in other words, 4 destroyed equipment pieces. You are getting up to the 2nd level and your equipment piece became better. Now if you want to get even more, you are using 20 destroyed new equipment pieces. 20. Remember what I said before. You are a free-to-play player. I believe you are going to get less of those pieces individually from the battle pass if you are not buying holiday ops boxes, which I can predict, or I am trying to predict they are going to use it in this way. You are getting less. When you are going to be top level, I do not know. You know, it is becoming like... It is becoming that phone game in a way. What do I mean by saying this is, you know, the phone games with the heroes when you have Sword of Darkness and Boots of Slime and Pants of Shit? You know that? Those type of games? Well, if you are making a decision to buy... to spend your money, you are pretty much going to get way more stats, and what more stats will means it is going to be so much easier and so much better to go through the stages or whatever. In other words, what I'm trying to suggest, Wargaming is going towards pay to win, and quite heavily, frankly. Both, if there is 2 players, same skill level, one player has better equipment than other, and both of them are making the same decisions, people with equipment set up like this is going to win. That's what I'm trying to suggest here, and this is not very good thing, but it is how it is. Anyways, now I want to show you where it is going to make actual difference, just to say that outright. So let's take the Mr. Bobject. I will show you this example and I will explain you why it is going to make a difference. So looking into the Mr. Object, or Bobject, I suppose to say, we are using turbo, we are using hardening, and we are using the rammer piece, right? What will happen with a new experimental equipment? So instead of using hardening, you are going to use the pretty much new equipment, hardening and modified configuration, combine it into one, right? This is the first step. The second step, you are not going to use the turbo. You are going to use the turbo, which is combined with rotation mechanism. What that means? You are just as quick and you can turn quicker. So you are getting instantly advantages. Pretty much in one equipment slot, you are having 2 equipment pieces. It is absolutely insanity, and it is ridiculous how Wargaming could come up with this, and this is just nuts. And I really want to highlight this because it is a zombie apocalypse coming. You know, for the last half year, I was saying, fellas, Wargaming is going to the right direction. Wargaming is giving free cents. Wargaming is changing the maps. Wargaming is doing pretty good things, but this is such a humongous step backwards. And what am I trying to say here? If I understand this correctly, and if my prediction is correct, if you are a free-to-play player, you have been behind for quite some time. You did not had a chance to enjoy the premium tanks which is coming into the game. You can get yourself, you know, bond premiums or something, and they are not the best. But nowadays, you will be in very big disadvantage because people are just going to be able to buy, not directly, but they will be able to buy the equipment setup, better equipment pieces, and you will simply be in humongous disadvantage. That's what I'm trying to say, and that's what I want to highlight from all this. Wargaming, we are not an idiots. We can see what you are doing, and we can smell what is happening there. This is not cool. This is not nice. If you are planning to add things like this and you actually care about community, you can always ask community opinion. And in this situation, simply Wargaming made a decision already behind the walls. Maybe they had a party, or maybe they just simply thought it is going to be a good addition to their PayPal balance to have better and solid numbers. This is a humongous step backwards, and I'm kind of disappointed. Now, let's explain how this equipment is looking like and how it will change the game. So if you would pay attention at two pieces of equipment, you would notice they are combining into one over there. So for example, speaking about the hit points, you have +8 hit points speaking about the improved hardening, and you would have +10 if we are speaking about improved hardening in the special slot. Well, speaking about the improved equipment or improved suit, as you can see, you are having a 9, so it's already better than the standard hardening, and there is some tanks where you cannot use it, if you know what I mean. Now, if you are upgrading it to the maximum, it is obviously going to be way better than the standard equipment, significantly. This is very important thing to say. After that, speaking about the suspension durability, as you can see here, is pretty much just tiny touch lower than on improved hardening, but if you are upgrading it, it is becoming better than even boosted hardening, if you know what I mean. After that, you have the suspension repair speed, and as you can see, the same trend is going pretty much. Speaking about repair speed, +15, and here you have +10, which might not look that significant, but if you are upgrading this equipment, you are having +25. And what +25 means? It means you are just simply becoming even better than people who are using the hardening in the special slot. Plus, on top of that, if we are not done yet. Those two equipment setups, right? They are combined into one. So looking into all of this, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, speaking about eternal module protection, it is getting added into this equipment, and so on, so on. Pretty much to say like this. Looking into the raw numbers, right? Each and individual equipment is going to be better if you are looking for the certain number. For example, you want to have, we are comparing the raw equipment. You want to get as much of the hit points as possible, right? This is what you are looking for. Obviously, improved aiming is going to, improved hardening, it is going to be better for that particular stat. But you are losing other bonuses over there. Okay, let's say like this. Let's let's talk about the dinner, fellas. You can have a big piece of chicken, right? Big piece of chicken, chicken fillet, whatever. Or you can have tiny touch smaller chicken. You can get yourself mashed potatoes, and you can get yourself tomatoes near it, or some kind of salads. You get the point what I'm saying? I truly want to explain this deeply. Pretty much, this equipment is going to be all the time go-to-way. There is no other options. If you have this equipment, you are not even thinking about improved hardening or improved modified configuration. You do not think about this, you put this. That's it. That's all you care about. You don't care about absolutely anything else. Same goes for other equipment setup, aka turbo combined with improved rotation mechanism. It's just how it goes. It will go together very, very nicely. So look at this. There is a turbo, there is improved rotation mechanism, and what we have in the end of the day, it might not look that crazy and that significant, but it is. Pretty much in this equipment setup, you are having full turbo. If you are not using turbo in special slot, some classes cannot use that, or you have something else to put here, pretty much you have the same turbo over there. And plus on top of that, you have half of rotation mechanism sticked into this. So once again, I'm not even speaking about the fully upgraded setup, because it is just going to be way better, and I don't even want to dig that deeply. So how the things are looking like nowadays. On Bobject, instead of using turbo, improved hardening and rammer, you are using the new turbo and rotation mechanism. You are using new hardening and modified configuration, and you are using the gun rammer. And that's how your tank is becoming even better. Now I have other example. It's not all. For example, 279E as a vehicle. I know many of you do not have it, but it is pretty popular in the clan wars, and people are using it. This is a typical configuration of the 279E. Whenever you are playing clan wars, you just need to save your ammo rack, because your ammo rack is very, very weak, right? So what people are using nowadays? People are using improved hardening, and people are using modified configuration. Do you get the point where I'm heading? No? Okay, let's deal with this. Let's demount this equipment setup, and let's demount this equipment setup. And now let's get for ourselves the new equipment piece, aka experimental setup, and we are getting this in. What do we have? Extra equipment slot. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! And now, since two setups are combined, you can use whatever you want. So in this kind of situation, probably turbo is going to be the right way to do the things. And once again, from my understanding, this set people who are willing to pay for wargaming, they are going to have more of those equipments. If they have more of those equipments, they are going to have stronger tanks. If they are going to have stronger tanks, the battlefield is going to be more competitive, and it is absolutely ridiculous what is happening. This is the best example which I could show for you, and I hope this is understandable. And once again, speaking about the situation, you could put turbo, and you could get 7.5% to engine power, 4 kilometers per hour speed, and 2 kilometers reverse speed. Or you could put a new system over there, which is giving you pretty much the same power, and plus on top of that, you are rotating quicker.
No.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, I started faster.
You started slightly earlier than me. You'll see, I'll catch up. Don't
worry. Don't you dare. But you see, the difference is not that big, to be fair with you.
No, it's not. It's really not noticeable. I mean, like, okay, like over longer distances, but, you know, when are you ever driving full speed for, like, a super long amount of time, you know?
I have an idea. How about if we would turn in the same time? Because I have the improved rammer, improved turning in the same time together, right? We are equal, plus minus to the left side in 3, 2, 1, go.
I have Bond Turbo, by the way, so...
Yeah, but actually,
Yeah.
you know what? It is not
It's-
that big. No, I mean, I am turning just tiny touch quicker, but not by much.
Yeah, but you also have the minus dispersion, though. On top of that.
Yeah, it's Bobject. You can hit shots on the move anyways. I don't see any problems whatsoever. Okay, beautiful. So, fellas, you can see how the things are looking like whenever one person has all bond equipment, another person have a new equipment loaded. And Mr. Daki, greetings.
Hello, how are you doing?
We are doing bad. We are complaining about the new equipment coming into the game.
Only complaining, always complaining. That's all we do.
Absolutely, yes. Okay, quick blitz questions. Do you think it will change the game meta, the new equipment?
I don't think this will change the game meta, per se, too much. But I think the thing is that it's just like adds another layer of complexity, and it gives like people an advantage over other people even more than before. You know what I mean? Like it makes the gaps even wider.
No, I have no clue what you mean. Absolutely not. So, in a nutshell, in your opinion, from the tests you have done before, do you think this new improved or experimental equipment, however it is called, will it give people edge over the bond equipment or not so much?
Well, the thing is, like, it's done in like a sneaky way. So, like, on paper, like the turbo that you're using is like 1 kilometer slower forward and 1 kilometer slower backwards, right? But on top of that, you get like all these passive bonuses. So, like, it's slightly worse than Bond equipment, but you get so many extra stuff that makes it far superior.
So pretty much instead of getting the Bond Turbo, which would be a juicy steak, you can get a nice steak plus potatoes and plus some kind of salad on top of that.
Yeah, you can like end up getting like on some things you'll get 5 equipment pieces basically instead of 3. So it doesn't match the Bond equipment whatsoever. Like it's so much better.
What is your opinion about Wargaming figuring out to put this in the game without having a conversation with community contributors or something? Because this is in a way kind of game-changing thing, right?
It's weird. Like normally, like you know, for like big stuff in the game, which I would say this is a big stuff in the game because it's another equipment set, but it's like its own currency. We get like play tests. We don't get a play test. They told us like 24 hours beforehand, this is what we're doing, it's going on common test, and you can give your feedback. It's like, huh? Like, came out of nowhere. Like, literally out of nowhere.
Here you go. What do you think? What do you think? How many equipment pieces and how people will be able to get this?
So the thing like that I'm really curious about, by the way, because like it's written in such a weird way in their announcement without too many details. Because what did it say? It said well-deserved rewards, right? Which
Okay,
one
that's
already
simple.
that already gives it to like people that have been playing the game for longer, more pieces, which is like not really cool for newer people, right? And then Battle Pass is fine. I don't mind about Battle Pass, but the Holiday Ops one is curious. What does Holiday Ops mean? Does it mean you can earn it during the event, or does it mean you can earn it in the boxes?
If I need to bet of this night, we are just having a chat and we are chilling, right? From the holiday ops, there is 2 ways. One way, how you are dealing with the Christmas atmosphere, and I believe you know this very, very well. And the second way is the loot boxes. And let's get real, if Wargaming wants to push this quite fast without saying anything for content creators or for the community contributors or for something, so my prediction would be it will be in the boxes. I would guess.
That's what I'm worried about as well, man. That it will be in the boxes. And like, if it's in the boxes, it's like straight up pay to win though. Because like, before, like with Bond HP and Bond Turbo, it's like you get rewarded for being better, quote unquote, which is also kind of iffy. But like if it's in the boxes and that means you get to level 3 faster, it's like pay to win, no?
Okay, imagine the situation. It is in the boxes. What do you think? What kind of chance Wargaming would give content creators to, content creators, everyone, to get the things in the boxes? I mean, what do you think is the chance? 1 in 10, 1 in 100?
Compare it to the Waffenträger battle drops, if you remember. The chance there, not so high. Something that people will want, like if it's in the box, it's something that people will want, but won't be getting that much of. So you're like gambling to get something new, you know?
Okay, but okay, imagine that. If let's say average chance is, let's say, 1 in 25, right? I think Waffle was 1 in 50 or 1 in 25. Let's say 1 in 25. If you want to update the equipment, which is requiring 24 pieces, how many boxes do you need to buy?
A lot. A lot, dude. That's a lot of boxes.
So fellas,
I pray it's not in the boxes, because that would be really no.
by the way, fellas, we are recording this in the middle of the night. It's 3 in the morning for me. It's 2 in the morning for Daki. Buzzy streamer, by the way, streaming non-stop. I meant to say internet beggar. I apologize to insult you so much. Please forgive me. And
Yeah. 2 internet beggars at it in the middle of the night. What a surprise. And complaining, as always, complaining.
absolutely, I mean, that's what we are doing all the time, complaining. We decided to do this aspect or this part of the video just to have a conversation about our thoughts, how the things are looking like, and how Wargaming is trying to, let's say, sneak some things into the game. And this is truly weird, fellas, because before the big things are coming, for example, Crew 2.0, everyone was informed, everyone had a chance to test the things out, everyone had a chance to say the feedback, and this is new stuff coming into the game just like this, which is quite a game changer, and no one knew this, and it's not like it is presenting. So fellas, we will have a chance to have it. It's coming. there is no other way around it, and we just need to take, we will need to bend over and we need to take it.
Yeah,
So,
I just want to add that they also did it in a sneaky way, you know? They made these 2 experimental equipments, so the turbo and the hardening, right? You know what's the funny thing? Turbo, the Bond turbo is super exclusive to get. I think there's like 3 that you could have gotten. So the
Ranked
experimental...
battles.
And yeah, the experimental tier 3 is comparable to Bond. And the funny thing is the hardening, there's only regular hardening. We don't even have bounty hardening. So this experimental is like miles better. And the funny thing is for the hardening, which is actually like kind of sneaky, the experimental level 1 hardening skill is better than a hardening like standard equipment in a non-boosted slot. Like it's just better at everything.
Sure,
It's-
it is.
So what the people like that have regular hardening, sell all your equipment and get experimental instead. Like it doesn't make sense, no?
So what would you recommend for people who are getting that hardening? Would you recommend for people to use this hardening? We do not know how we are going to get it yet, right? No one knows anything. But would you recommend to dismantle the hardening, or just keep it and to have it on the tanks and do not waste it?
I would keep it, the hardening. I think it's together with the turbo the best one, but especially because there's no bounty hardening and bond hardening has only been given away once for ranked. It is such a powerful piece of equipment. You keep it. It is extremely powerful on, like, I mean, you see the difference between me and Skill, right? I have bond hardening. He has the experimental level 3. It's barely any HP difference.
What do you mean it's barely? It's 20 hit points. 20!
So for the people, like the level 1 hardening is so good for tanks like all of your mediums, TDs that don't get like the boosted slots, you know what I mean? That don't get the boosted hardening slot, which heavies get. It's just better than a normal hardening. So if you don't have all field mods, just keep it. It's just better than having normal hardening on all of those tanks. And even then, at level 1, in my opinion, the experimental hardening beats regular hardening. So the hardening is IMO the best one. Like it's just the best. That's not because I love hardening. It's just because the stats
you
difference
love
is so
hardening.
minimal.
Be honest,
I know.
you love hardening.
I do, but the stat difference between experimental and hardening is so little. It's just better on non-boosted tanks like mediums, and even on heavies you get so many other stuff from it that it doesn't make sense to use regular hardening. So I don't know. Like it's so good. The last equipment is not that good though. But
Okay, if we are going so much, if we are going further and we imagining some things, what is the chance this is not all of the equipment? What is the chance of this? We have currently 3 pieces what Wargaming presented. What is the chance there is more?
It's pretty big, actually. I think it's just like they're trying to combine maybe equipments that are not that often used. And at the same time, it makes... If you give it away in Battle Pass and other events, you make people play for it, you know? Because we gotten a decent amount of bounty stuff now from Battle Pass, right? Where a lot of people have a decent amount of bounty equipment. That they move around between their tanks. But now with this equipment, that is better than the bounty equipment at level 2, and way better at level 3, you have to grind a whole new set of equipments. You know what I mean? So it's like trying to get people to spend more time into the game, grinding out something better to put it on their tanks. So I would say the chance is pretty high.
I mean, if we are thinking about this, imagine the situation if they are going to combine turbo with grousers as an example, or I don't even know, CVS with optics or something like this.
Yeah, like there's a lot of combinations they could make that would be pretty broken, like because you go from having, like for meta tanks that can mount turbo and hardening, for example, you go from having 3 equipments, so where you had hardening, turbo, and rammer, you now have 5 equipments.
Let's go into the garage for a moment and let's see exactly how it is looking like, because obviously the turbo is like ERM and turbo, correct? This new equipment piece. Hardening is hardening and modified configuration, correct?
Yeah, this is it's config. Config is indeed the extra one.
So what do you think what Wargaming could come up with next?
No, you'd have to look at the standard equipment and look at it like a combination for shooting, like maybe like improved aiming and like, I don't know, vents or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I like it. I like it. Yes, talk about the vents. I like it.
I mean, like, you know, the thing is, like, I feel like they're just trying to make, they're like putting a popular piece of equipment with something less popular, you know? So on one hand, you have hardening, which I think is a very popular equipment. And then on top of that, you have config. But most people don't use config by itself, right? They don't use it.
Unless a couple of tanks.
Yeah, a couple of tanks that have issues with like fires and stuff. But in general, it's not really widely used whatsoever. But the passives that it gives are really nice to have, though, as a bonus. Not as a singular piece, because there's too many other equipments that you want. But it's nice to have as a bonus. But I could see them combine stuff that isn't very commonly used. Like you said, grousers, a mobility combination between grousers and turbo, or, I mean, even binos with something. Or I could see them like combine low noise exhaust with vents for camo, stuff like that, you know?
I mean, this is actually a huge thing to think ahead. So, if Wargaming is watching this, you know what we are expecting from you. Please deliver something like this. We want Camonet and Binos in one slot.
Camonet and Binos in one slot.
I mean, that sounds like a plan. So, in a nutshell, how do you feel about this whole situation, new equipment pieces in the game and everything? Are you up for that or you are against that?
I'm against it. Like, people will spend their, you know, gold on Battle Pass to get bounty equipment, which was almost as good as Bond equipment, especially Bond equipments that they couldn't get. For example, the Bond Turbo, which is very exclusive, and Bond Hardening, we do not have bounty hardening. So people spend a lot of time getting these equipment pieces, right? And spend gold for Battle Pass to get like almost the best. And now you're introducing a whole set of new equipment, which nobody asked for, by the way. Like, literally nobody asked for this whatsoever. I think people are asking for like maybe changes, or, you know, map changes more, or like nerfs to like Chief 279. We don't need new equipment. We don't need to make it even more complicated for people, make them grind even more, spend even more, especially when we don't even have every equipment piece in Bond format. And when we have things like Bond Turbo and Bond Hardening, which haven't even really been fully used, you know, it's been for Ranked and now for Onslaught. But, you know, 3 pieces of Bond Turbo, 1 piece of Bond Hardening. I don't think the Bond equipment by itself has been fully used by Wargaming. So no, there's like literally 0 point to make people go through everything again to be up to date with the equipment.
I disagree. What Wargaming should do, Wargaming should be able... Wargaming should give us opportunity to upgrade the standard equipment into the Bond equipment for 100 million credits, and we would be fine. See? Problem solved, easy peasy. So
Yeah, easy problem solved. And then the biggest fan that I'm not happy with is that like this experimental equipment at level 1 is already better than standard equipment. Like people spend credits getting standard equipment on their tanks. Like they spend a lot of time credits getting this, and now to have to sell all of it and grind new equipment, like, I don't know. I don't know. Did you ask for this? Was it you? Did you PM your father at Wargaming?
Yes.
We need a new equipment set.
yes, I did.
It
I
also
mean-
it also worries me in one thing, by the way. You know how we all like kind of shelved to Crew 2.0 after it was on the sandbox? Like we tested it, we said no, we don't want this. It's not good in this format. They shelved it. But with this, there's no sandbox, no nothing. It's a pretty big change still. Straight onto common test, which usually means that say whatever you want. It's coming to the game one way or another.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know how it came into the game, how it was planned, but probably someone in Wargaming just simply really wanted to get this in the game, and he said, Igor, I have a plan. Listen, we are going to break our records of selling boxes. And this is the way to do the things. I don't know. This is obviously, fellas. Please take our conversation with a grain of salt. We do not know how the things are looking like, and for some of you, if you are thinking community contributors have a voice and community contributors can speak for the community, well, we are having this conversation in the middle of the night while holding balls in one in our hands, and we are having the conversation we are taking for the team, pretty much. So just to let you know, there is no such a thing as conversation with Wargaming or something. Wargaming is making decision, and we are just simply taking it. We do not have any other choice, do we?
Oh, and in this case, I think it's a good sign as a sign as well that we don't know more than a lot of people do, like from the community itself. Like we didn't know about this. Like we knew about it 24 hours before you did. That's not a lot of time to give feedback. We didn't get a play test. This got dropped on our heads. We also don't know how much people are going to get from well-deserved rewards, how it's going to be in Battle Pass, how it's going to be in Holiday Ops. We're equally in the dark as everybody watching this video.
And in the same time, fellas, now you know how the things are looking like. By the way, when Crew 2.0 is coming, Daki, I know you know about this. Let me know.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know, man. But with the way that they did this equipment, I could see them just launch another comment test and be like, yo, we reworked the crew. Here it is.
Or the new tech tree without saying absolutely anything. Like, it's British tech tree, Chieftain. Chieftain from the tier 5.
I mean,
Here
they
you
could
go.
do anything. Like, I don't know. It's just weird how this came out of nowhere. Like, no leaks, no nothing, no previous announcements. Just here.
You know what
Good
I
luck.
would do if I would be Wargaming, and if I want to push the Crew 2.0? I would simply release the new crew skills. Without giving people booklets to retrain the crew skills, I would just push the new skills. Two new skills for radio operator, 2 new skills for commander, 2 new skills for driver, 2 new skills for gunner, 2 new skills for loader. That's it. Crew 2.0 is in the game.
Yeah, they could be releasing it in small segments. I mean, the Sixth Sense for everybody was already like a small part of Crew 2.0 by itself, you know? That was
Yep.
a big part of Crew 2.0, the free Sixth Sense, so they put that in. They figured out how to do it. It would not be a surprise if they figure out a way to put Crew 2.0 kinda in the current system, right? Like you said, by adding more skills.
One more thing which I really want to ask, what do you think about the last half year progression of the World of Tanks overall with the new updates when Wargaming pretty much split away from the Belarus aka, from the Minsk office? What would you say about the recent changes which we had for last half year?
It's like up and down. Like they do some really, really good stuff, like the transfers and stuff, really well handled IMO, the way they did it and allowing it to begin with. So like they handled that very well. Then the map changes that they've been pushing out, right? I'm a fan of those as well. They've been doing a lot of frequent updates as well on this regard, like a lot of map changes, super test changes, very, very good. And then also like a few downs with like, for example, Mino, because it's annoying to play against. The way that they nerf the Kran is also like less than ideal. The fact that they've left 279 Chieftain in the state that it is, for example, but then nerfed the EMX. Like I'm happy they nerfed the EMX so fast, but I like at the same time I'm wondering why can't they do that for other tanks? You know what I mean? So like
I
they're doing good things, and then they're making some decisions that don't make sense, like Chinese rocket tanks, or Minotaur, or nerfing the Kran gun instead of working the armor. You know what I mean? It's
I
like
mean,
they're doing good things and bad things.
I don't see any problems whatsoever. What do you think? How popular is going to be Chinese tier 10 heavy line, the new one with the rocket boosters? With all honesty,
Not that popular. I mean, people will just get it for the fancy rockets.
I mean, people are going. You know, drowning percentage will increase by double. You cannot go backwards.
Because
Whenever you-
also people are gonna activate their rockets when they're on a cliff and just stumble into the water.
So I don't really think it is going to be that bad and it's going to be that horrible. Obviously, we haven't tested it out. We just seen how it is looking like in a way. Rockets push the letter and you are going with a turbo for some time. We haven't tested it out yet, but eventually I believe we will when it's going to be in the game and when it's going to be too late. I think that's the way to do the things. So yeah, okay, Mr. Daki, thank you very much for conversation. I think we covered quite a bit of the good things. I agree with you by saying World of Tanks went quite a bit ahead. With all honesty, I hated Kranwagen beforehand, so I did not felt too much of the Kranwagen nerf. To be fair with you, I truly did not felt it. And I did not notice that too much, but maybe I am a silly goose, which is more likely the case. And I think in the last half years, mostly, like 90% of the things which were gaming did was fine. The same Rhino, people are not going to play with this shit because after playing 3 battles, they are going to hate the gun. It's impossible to play with it.
I think you're very right. Like, you know, it's not to shill what Wargaming is doing, but they have been going in the right direction for, like, at least since the split, being very, you know, proactive and doing things right. But that doesn't mean, you know, that you can't call them out when they're doing bad things like we are doing now, because we don't think that this is really ideal what they're doing, you know? So you compliment them for the good, but you definitely still call them out when they're doing something bad.
No, I am not getting paid for calling bad. I just invited you so you can shit talk Wargaming. That's the whole plan. I mean, for me, Wargaming is doing everything right. I don't know what are you talking about. I like the new equipment piece. The most importantly, I need to get ventilations plus improved aiming unit. Okay, so I could save 1 extra slot. That would be much appreciated. Or ventilation with binos, something like this. I would like it. So yeah, beautiful. Very, very nice. Thank you very much for conversation, Papadaki. And fellas, I hope you enjoyed it as well as an addition for my opinions of the new equipment. And thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Skill is out for today. Peace.